chorizo, un flaco chirizo, un tipo corriente. Mi vieja es partera, mi viejo ganadero. Nací en un potrero, allá en Chinandega. Me vine a Managua, vivo en el recreo. Barrio de Turqueo y chavalas bien guapas. Me gusta la rumba, la noche apretada. Pegar carreteadas y bailar pura cumbia. Pura cumbia. Pura cumbia. Pura cumbia. Pura cumbia.
Well, the partnership with Degrassi and Free the Children is so great that we get to go on these trips. We really go hand in hand with their values and our values towards our audience.
Improving education and healthcare and basic living needs, stuff that we take for granted.
Being new to the cast, I wanted to go somewhere where we had daily activities that we do together, a place where I can make some real emotional connections with everybody, while at the same time doing something good.
I came on this trip to Nicaragua because I come on every Free the Children trip I possibly can. It's always an amazing experience.
We're on one of the main drags, the main highways that cuts through Managua, the capital city. One of the interesting things you might notice as you look around the city of Managua is that there are no street names on street corners, nor are there street signs. I've never been any place in the world where there's no street names or street signs.
Everything direction-based has to do with different landmark locations and stuff, but there's zero street names. It's like the weirdest thing.
Some people say that back in the 80s, when Bono and U2 were really into Central America and Nicaragua, they wrote a song in reference to the city where the streets have no names. Again, nobody knows if that's really the true story, but we like to tell it anyway.
Oh my God. Is that a cloud or smoke?
That's sulfur and smoke coming out of the volcano.
That's so cool.
The main idea with the Spanish lesson is to kind of say, how can we use Spanish to make connections with people? Soy means I am.
They say I'm from Canada, is it?
It's a soy de Canada.
Soy de Canada.
Soy de Canada.
Tengo means I have.
Tengo 19 años.
Tengo 18 años.
Tengo hambre. I have hunger.
Tengo hambre.
So when someone says to you, ¿Qué onda?, it's like saying what's up, but they're kind of asking you, like, what's the vibe? People might respond to the question of ¿Qué onda?, is to say, tranquilo.
¿Qué onda, man?
¿Qué onda? Tranquilo, man.
Tranquilo, man.
Tranquilo, man.
When we go on these trips, we like to dig in deep and learn about their community, learn about who they are and their families, but also build something so we can be like, I helped in some way, shape, or form to build their community.
We're just approaching the beginnings of the community of El Trapiche, which is the first community that Free the Children has worked in Nicaragua. There are about 50 families that live here, but in the schools that we've built, lots of other children come from neighboring communities. Wow, this is very different. This is the first school that we completed that houses grades 1 through 6. And then this is the new preschool that is almost complete.
Obviously expecting this kind of depressed ambience about Nicaragua, but it couldn't be farther from the truth because everybody is just so happy. Happy to be there and happy to welcome us.
Sean bienvenidos una vez más a la comunidad. Mi nombre es Flor Márquez. Soy la maestra de la comunidad de Trapiche. Partir las clases en una casa común. la cual ha sido de mucho beneficio, progreso para esta comunidad. Y nos da un gusto que ya otro grupo se ha recibido en esta escuela. Gracias.
We're so excited to be here, and we're honored to be in Nicaragua and in your community. For some of us, this is our first experience working with community. I was expecting for everything to be very depressing and everyone being very sad. Everyone was just always so happy, even despite their poor living conditions.
We're all thrilled to be here and experience your community. None of us have ever been to Nicaragua before, so we had no idea what to expect.
So far, everyone has been so welcoming, and we are looking forward to getting to know all of you better.
In Canada, many things are different. We speak English and French. Our seasons are opposite to you. We have piles of snow when you guys have your hottest weather. Our lives are very different, but in the end, we have many more similarities than we think.
Please feel free to help us with any of our Spanish. We're still learning, and we love your help.
All of us are so excited to be here and can't wait to start working with you guys. Let's make this a great week.
You're not really thinking about it, but at the back of your mind, you know that you're going somewhere that's really poverty-stricken. Like, I think Nicaragua was the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
So they used to have to come down, walk around, and walk down the gorge here, and walk up, and then walk up, and the school was on the other side.
It's like a 90-degree.
Yeah.
Well,
What's down there, like a river?
Yeah, it's basically like a riverbed. Man. So when it rains, like a lot of water will come down and get a little flooded down there.
Yeah.
And how far of a walk down there?
It's 2 kilometers, probably. He said like half an hour, go down and then back up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Una comunidad de 25 casas, pero también tienen una problemática con el agua, sufren mucho por el agua. Aparte de ellos de pagar esa mensualidad, pagan también lo que es la mensualidad del agua.
Free the Children is working on some projects, and we decided to work on a water project that some of our students have been working some of the trips. So basically, they'll be able to store water here when they get it once every 2 weeks, and then they can distribute it to the community. The community hasn't had water in 20 days.
Cuando el agua no viene ahorita, por lo menos en este caso, ellos se trasladan las mujeres a traer agua hasta allá, al otro barrio, en la cabeza. Es un trabajo cansado para ellas.
just like some of the stuff I've seen, the living conditions people have been in, I've never experienced a country so radically different from my own.
Y también sufren por lo que hay niños que van a clase, no tienen para la bebida, para bañarse, cosas así. Es una problemática muy grande.
When I first went there, it made me feel like, wow, I'm not in Canada anymore. Totally different place, totally different people, and that's not bad at all. But it was just shocking.
So we're going to prepare the school for the inauguration that's going to happen. So we're going to inaugurate the preschool. So it's going to be a big celebration that the community is going to throw.
Lo esencial sería para lo que vamos a trabajar nosotros es que vamos a realizar la pintura de la aula. Vamos a también hacer unos bebederos de agua porque no hay para que los niños tomen acá. Entonces vamos a aspirar la tubería y hacer una pileta ahí con las llaves. Y vamos a aprovechar de que tenemos un terreno bastante amplio como para sembrar plantas, ya sean frutales o que den sombra simplemente.
As soon as they said, all right, we're going to do work, everyone was like, great. All right, just give me a shovel, give me some gloves, give me a helmet. I want to do something right now.
I always surprise myself in what I can physically do when I'm on a Free the Children trip.
I love you, Canada.
Que onza balanza como te tranza la panza, te voy a tirar el bombazo cuando éramos la mera toalla. Bliscoso y los de Esteban, a toda la pipo la calambraban y con los gárgolas del barril te rebanaba la cuajada. Armando el despelote nos agarró la jurásica.
Never done nothing in my life besides gardening at home, which is really nothing.
Gracias.
De nada.
Wow.
This was pretty intense.
I always surprise myself in what I can physically do when I'm on a Free the Children trip.
Ooh, look at that. I found my brand new pet. His name is, of course, Giuseppe. and I love them. I've never felt love like this before, but now I know what those people are talking about.
We actually made and mixed cement by ourselves, and that itself was really, it was really educational because I didn't actually know you could make cement like that, so it was kind of cool.
That works perfectly. Make sure you don't.
We were like, we're doing hard work, but it's like calming compared to like the digging. Everyone was like sweaty and like dirty, and we were like, we've definitely been doing as much work as you have, like, but just a different kind of work.
So you're going to cover from the dirt on either side?
In one day, we dug out the entire trench. I feel like because we have a smaller group, we know that there's no luxury of, oh, I can take a break because there's 5 other people that can do something. We're all working together as a team to do that.
Just level this out between this area here, and then you guys are good.
I'm walking on sunshine.
No, because they need to connect it down.
Buddy hop.
I can't feel my back. I can't feel my arms. You know, you can feel though. Your face.
That's a wrap.
Guys, we're a wrap. We got a lot of work done, and we're really proud of ourselves as well, too.
Everyone was saying that that kind of work they thought was going to take 2 days at least, and we finished it on the 1st. So that felt really great, and that's sort of what makes it worth it. Working hard and pushing past that point that you think you can't.
We'll be back again tomorrow morning.
I was actually in the room getting ready for breakfast, and then all of a sudden I hear all this drumming. I was like,
That noise, and it went from us being so annoyed to us eventually brushing our teeth, jamming out. We're like,
down the street, and there was all these like kids with drums and all these kids dancing in lines, and I was like, what is happening?
It was an Independence Day practice for the Independence Day on September. I thought that was really cool, you know, that because you never see kids like us getting up that early to practice a marching band.
That was a nice way to wake up and like be immersed in the community like first thing in the morning.
Let's go to the build site, guys, and we'll find out what work needs to be done today.
We had to really step up our game, but everyone just worked their butt off. The painting was incredibly done.
There was a huge amount of progress when we arrived. I was also still a little nervous because I felt like we had a lot of painting to do, but it went by really, really fast.
we started painting the blue section. We're like, wow, it's starting to look like a school. It looks like we've finally done some work.
In our demonstration, we got paint blue here and hand cut off. That was the demonstration. So we were all set. We were aware of what the consequences would be.
Even despite the language barrier, we bonded through the universal language of music.
I love the Nicaraguan people. They're just so friendly and just so hospitable, and they just want to talk to you in any way that they possibly can.
Richard, vos también. Richard. Yeah. This guy thinks me. You just told him your name.
We met one of the painters, Richard, and I think his way was talking to me, at least, was just to pick on me.
What happened?
When we arrived, it had been so barren, and there had been really nothing in those fields, and then to see trees being planted really just livened it up.
And she's made impact. Funny. That pretty little flower shut up. And then you bury her in the dirt. That is your love.
I've never planted before, but I think I found a new love.
Move over one more. Move over one more? Hold on, I gotta wait for this one. Oh, I wanna watch this. I wanna watch this. So from there, you slowly take off the coverings. And then she's comfortable on the ground.
I really enjoyed planning. I don't like gardening at home, but for some reason, planting like so ruggedly out there was a lot of fun.
I love you, Canada.
I'm able to see the finished product and give that to the community.
Gracias, Race the Children.
It's like a warm tingle in your heart.
I'm able to see the finished product and give that to the community. I've never had that done before. I've always been trying to work towards it. I've never actually been there for that inauguration, which we're going to get on this trip. So for me, it's something really special, and it's kind of a nice finale to my Degrassi Feed the Children experience.
Just to think that a week ago there was no flowers, no paint, no nothing. The finished product was amazing.
Today at the inauguration, when I was like, so we're not going to be building anymore. All right, so it was like I didn't want to be finished. I wanted to keep helping them there.
Bueno, muy buenos días, tengamos todos. Seamos bienvenidos a esta pequeña inauguración.
The inauguration ceremony was really, really beautiful. I have seen a few, but this one was really touching.
Now, a few words by Camilo Power.
Buenos días a todos y todas. Quiero agradecerle, yo estoy en nombre de Free the Children. Yo digo que de la comunidad de Free the Children, nosotros trabajamos en Nicaragua en apoyar a la educación de los niños. Una de las cosas que es muy importante es trabajar de mano a mano con la comunidad. Y número uno, le quiero agradecer mucho a la comunidad del Trapiche, porque sí han trabajado juntos con nuestros jóvenes, han estado organizados y nos han cuidado a los jóvenes que vienen como sus propios hijos. Yo me acuerdo cuando vine hace como 18 meses, cuando vine vi a Flor dando clase en una casa y vimos el potencial de poder ayudar en esta comunidad. Empezamos con un aula y ahora tenemos este sueño.
Everybody in the community thought he was the biggest hero, and he does so much work, and I really respect him.
Bueno, yo quiero decirle a la Fundación Free Children y a Camilo que estamos muy agradecidos, ya que recibíamos bastantes grupos visitantes. Como toda cosa, al inicio bonito, pero al final triste.
I felt that before. I've been there, and I know exactly how she feels, even from the other side.
Y saber que ya tal vez no van a volver, pero sí quedó un bonito recuerdo en nuestro corazón. Y siempre vamos a recordarlos como unos grandes héroes. Gracias y que Dios los bendiga.
She dedicated her life and worked so hard for education and the well-being of people that aren't even related to her, and I think that's just so inspiring.
So now we'll hear words of thank you from one of our students, Edward.
It reminded me of one of my friends from back home. Got up and just made like the nicest speech, and you can tell it really was from his heart, and that really moved me.
Mi nombre es Edward Guzmán Puerto Santo. Gracias a la organización Free the Children y al licenciado Camilo, que para nosotros es nuestro héroe. Pero Dios nunca se olvidó de los necesitados y se acordó de nosotros, enviándonos una organización que se interesara en el bienestar de la comunidad. Gracias, Camilo. Gracias, Race the Children.
If he wasn't going to school and given the opportunity to learn how to speak eloquently and write it down on his page, that life would be so different and we'd be losing that amazing spark of a kid.
To see the water actually come on and to know what the kids are going to benefit from just something so simple as a tap and some pipes.
They have a place to have fresh drinking water and wash their hands.
To see it completely finished was an amazing sight to see. To watch Edward turn the tap and see the water flow down and be so clear and clean and know that it was safe. Such a great feeling, and for it to be the last thing we did before we sort of said goodbye was so lovely. I'm taking away so many things from this experience. The fact that I shouldn't take what we have in Canada for granted. Running water, electricity, basic needs that we overlook.
Cherish what I do have and cherish even the little things that so much work was put into. It's definitely what I'm going to be taking away from this trip.
No matter like how dark the world is or how bad it seems, there are people who are dedicating their lives to this kind of stuff, like Joe, Camilo, everyone who works for Free the Children, everyone who works for Need a Weed. It's like a warm tingle in your heart.
Seeing the 2 schools done, the water filtration system, and having the toilets that they built there as well, the trees and all the different fruits and vegetables that they planted. I felt like we'd fulfilled what we were supposed to do on this trip.
I think that going on a Need a Weed trip is just the greatest thing that's ever happened. If you have the time and you have the money, you should just do it because there's so little else out there like it.
It's like therapy for yourself. You get to really know yourself and tap into yourself and see who you are. I 100% recommend it, and I think that if you have an itch, like a tiny itch to do it, because you won't regret it. I know I haven't.